Welcome everyone to another episode of Trek Talk with Tech and Kirk. I'm TechMan16.
And I'm the Kirkmeister.
And I'm Handy.
And Gregor has yet to make any kind of intro music. So shame on Gregor. Anyways, guys, welcome to today's show. We got a good one for you today. We're going to introduce everyone to a new server, Server 25, the latest server along with Server 9 to be merged. All the marathon episodes regarding ntsy and Gregor and all those guys are now going to face these new guys that are going to, and today we're going to have Admiral Ree and Ripper up here with us, and then we'll have everybody from the audience contribute. But first, let's go back to the server where it all started, server 34. And Handy, I hear there's some issues in dark space. What's up with that?
Well, I think it's slowly calming down this week, but just in general, it's just reality that there's just a lot of people and a lot of alliances that have no idea how to act up there. So there's just confusion, right? Like you go to our server ROE Discord where there's supposed to be, it's supposed to reflect how the server plays, right? You would think that there would be all the rules there, and whether they're written in stone or not, at least, maybe put some things on there that, this is how everybody's playing, sort of thing. But there's just a lot of confusion. People don't know if they're supposed to just play OPL as OPL, if they're supposed to not hit anybody, or is it okay to do this, okay to do that? And it doesn't seem like anybody's really agreeing on how we should play up there.
So what has caused the confusion? Like, give me a specific incident, because I know there's a lot of people. Okay, go ahead, sir.
For example, we had talked. We meaning Nona, Dart, MCRN, Most, and MBD, I think. At any rate, or maybe it was Most. At any rate, we had talked and agreed that OPL is OPL, right? So if we're going to make a change in deep space and get rid of our gentleman's agreement that nobody's going to hit anybody, then let's just make it very simple. And deep space is like everywhere else. OPL is OPL. Now, the one mistake we made is we all kind of agreed that, well, OPL hunting in deep space is ridiculous, right? And we'd prefer our players to not OPL hunt for no reason. Like, if they really need the materials, you know what I mean? Like, if they're at that weird level where they're not really able to mine it efficiently and they want to go hunt for it, go for it. But what that ended up causing is this. It ended up causing people to say, well, OPL hunting in deep space is a dick move 100% of the time. So now nobody wants to do it because people are getting really upset about it. So, in a nutshell, that's what's happening.
So the confusion lies in that it used to be a gentleman's agreement or whatever. It used to be a special set of ROE rules where nobody hits anybody.
The only rule is that you don't hit anybody in deep space, period. Was not allowed to hit anybody for any reason. So the one benefit now is that you can clear a zero node. And if somebody is OPL and they're on a zero node, then you're able to clear that. Now, the whole point of it is to help people that need to mine, right? So essentially, the way everybody's looking at it is, well, unless you're mining, then you have no reason to hit anybody. If there's open nodes in the system, then you have no reason to hit a zero or an OPL. There's no point, right? Now, the one downside to that is that a lot of people do like to OPL hunt, and that's just how they play their game. I hate having to tell somebody to not, to play their game differently than how they want to. Everybody should be able to play their game how they want to, within reason, as long as they're not causing absolute mayhem. You know what I mean? As long as everybody's able to enjoy their game and have a good time.
All right. Well, so my question is, do people use G4 miners up in deep space? I'm not talking about like warp 120 and above or 180 and above, but like into the newly accessible areas for most of the people. Do people use G4 miners? I don't think they do they?
They do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. People use G4 miners everywhere.
More than you would think, actually. I mean, it's pretty funny. I saw one person with 2 G4 miners at level 41. They were both OPL by 100,000. And that person, if you're listening and you know who you are, you're just lucky that I'm a nice person, because I totally wanted to take your lunch.
And really, if you can't afford to repair a G4 miner, you shouldn't be using it. I mean, I'm level 50 now, and I don't even use a G4 miner. Literally, I never ever use it. I have Hydra, and I never use it. Because there's just
welcome to the level 50 bro club.
Thanks, bro.
I really think that for example, anybody listening, I mean, if I were you, I would adopt this because I have yet to have any issues hitting people OPL in G4. So to refine 2 chests refine is 50,000. If you don't have the G4 prime refines or whatever it is. So it's 50,000. So keep it in mind when you're looking for OPL. In G3, if somebody is OPL by 6,000 or 7,000, that's several refines right there. But if someone's OPL by 6,000 or 7,000 in G4 space, that's a drop in the bucket. Is it worth it for you to hit that person? It's really not. So like for me, if you're close to a 40,000, 50,000 mark, that's where I'll start looking at you if I really need those mats. But it's a case by case basis, and I would suggest everybody do that, because the person that's getting hit, let's be real, if you hit somebody that's really low OPL by a few hundred, everybody gets upset by it. Not because you hit them OPL, but because what the hell's the point? That's like 20, 30 seconds of mining for a lot of different resources.
It's assumed if you're hitting somebody at that level, it's assumed that you're trolling them. Now, imagine you're level 50 and you get hit for a tiny amount by somebody that's level 36 or whatever. You're automatically going to get pissed because you're assuming that this person is just got an issue with people that are high level and is just trolling. So they're going to come right out of the gate pissed. Now, but I'm just saying that
but at the same time, you cannot spell the word assume without using the word ass. So people need to leave their assumptions checked at the door. So that's one of the issues that we have. That's one of the reasons we have issues on our server, and I'm pretty sure any other server. But what I'm saying is that, think about it wisely. If you go to deep space and some dude is OPL by like 200,000, dude, I'm recrewing my Vidar and I'm warping that thing on my Discovery and I'm taking every bit you got. Like that's just an outlandish amount. That's an exorbitant amount of materials, and I'm not going to pass that up. However, if you're 6, 7, 10, even 20,000 over, I'm probably going to leave you be, because it's just in the grand scheme of things, I can put a miner out there and then, in 30, 40 minutes, I can have that much mat. So it's not really, the risk to reward ratio is not really worth it, in my opinion. And I would highly suggest that people adopt that, because me as a person, if you hit me and I'm like 50, 60,000 OPL, I'm not going to have any ill will whatsoever, because I was going to be like, damn, I'm surprised somebody didn't hit me sooner. That's a lot of mats. But if someone's like 1,000 or 2,000 OPL, that's literally in what we call a dick move. And there's no way that you can cut it that makes it not a dick move. There's no way you can justify it to people who are thinking logically. That's being a dick. What is that going to get you? It's going to get you nothing.
Well, it depends on your goal.
It's the same principle as hitting an origin space, which is also called deep space, when you hit somebody for like 200 OPL ISO 1-star. Same kind of move, if you will. But it's really, so as Kirk said, anybody on our server that has issues, think about how much you need to refine for a single refine. If you can get that, great. If not, you're being a troll. All right, let's move on to server 25. And we got Ripper. Ripper, how you doing? RipperSnapper. Sorry, I have to clarify because people are going to be like, "Oh my God, Criminal Ripper's on server 25." No, he's not. How you doing, RipperSnapper?
He's doing well. I'll speak for him. He's muted.
Yeah, no, I'm here. Hit the wrong mute.
And Admiral Ree. What's up, Admiral Ree?
Hey, fellas. How's it going?
Awesome. All right, so we have almost no clue about who you guys are. So let's start with some basic questions like, what's the highest level on your server? And if it's level 50, how many level 50s you have? What are the most powerful alliances? And are you part of them? And what's your guys' ROE like?
Okay, that's more than one question. So we have a couple 50s, 49s, 48s, upper 40s on our server. We are part of the top 3 alliances. We're a little unique as I run Alon Alpha 1, which is a part of a 3-sister alliance. Ripper is part of Braun, which is Bravo 1, and we have Charlie 1. So it's a little unique that way that we're all in at least the top 10 alliances on our server.
And you guys mesh well? You guys are like all friendly with one another?
Yeah, we've been together, Rip, 2 years now as a sister alliance?
I want to say it's longer than that. Maybe, God, it's been forever, but yeah, I guess that's about right.
So yeah, about 2 years we've run as a sister alliance. Most of our player base is free to play, but then you have our top 2. They're kind of our top 2 solid ABN and SSR, and realistically, we've all either hated each other or liked each other at one point in time in the game. And I've been on since November 2018, 2019, something like that. And so we've all formed alliances, fought each other. So it's kind of like a fluid motion between the alliances.
All right, what's the highest power level on your server?
50.
And who is it? Yeah. But who is it? And like, what's the actual power number?
Oh, now you're gonna make me look it up. Shit.
You mean you don't have that memorized? Like,
God.
Come on now.
No, because I honestly don't. I don't really care because I'll pretty much fight anybody.
What power level are you?
Even though I am not one of the higher players. But some of us just don't care. We'll just throw ships at it. We love the Rialta. It works.
For about 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's Neo at about 91 million.
What was that? 91 million?
91 million.
I heard?
Yeah, 91 million. Neotech.
Okay. That's pretty good.
That's Inco territory.
Yeah, Inco's at
server.
85 at the moment, but it depends on what ships he has out. But
no, he's at 91 at the moment, 91.6.
Well, I'm sure he could bring another ship out and be at 100, but
And Smooth and Kima are both at 85.5.
But they fluctuate a few million up or down,
Yeah, based on the ship, for sure. All right, Neotech, 91.9 million. Oh, jeez. Does he have all 3 epics there, Santa?
I think so.
I mean, Inco's going to hear this podcast, and Inco's going to hear this podcast, and he's going to have to go get a second Tribune.
Someone stronger than him? Nah.
Nah, man, we can't have that. Nah, Inko doesn't care if somebody's stronger than him. He just doesn't want anybody on our server stronger than him.
What? That too?
No, I'm kidding. Inch
Hey, Strat, what's up, man?
has always just played his own game and doesn't really care.
Hey, Strat.
Hold on, let me figure this thing out.
You're talking. Don't worry.
You hear me? Okay. Hey.
What's going on, man? Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Actually, you're the first person from Server 25 that visited our Discord server. So that's why I invited you on first and foremost. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a level 36, 16 mil. I'm part of Avon, which is the top alliance in the on Server 25.
Okay.
Hey, I'm curious, how many active players do you have on your server?
Actives, we have a lot of big active groups. I'd say that.
Well, not a guess. Like, for example, if you were to, like, what's the best way to gauge that, Tech? Do you know, Kirk? I know there's a way to kind of tell, like, you look at leaderboards, see how many.
Well, it's not only that. Well,
are.
I always tell people, like, look at the alliances you see floating around and go through your top leaderboard, and you'll definitely see, that if you have full alliances, because all of your top alliances are going to be active people. There's not really going to be any top alliances that are going to allow somebody who doesn't play anymore to stay in there. You know what I mean? So you can pretty much guarantee, like, for most servers, that your top 15 or 20 are going to be pretty active folks.
Looking at it offhand, it looks like I would say the top 12. We have about 12 good active alliances with at least 50 or more players in each. Goes up from there. 57 looks like the lowest one at 12, but then my group has 75 right now.
Yeah, the problem with that is you'd think there's a lot of active players in all these alliances, but
It could be.
Sometimes not.
I got another thing that I like to also ask, like, what is the top power destroyed? What's the top resource rated?
I know the top resource rated is one of my alliance members, and he is at 31 million, 32, excuse me, 32 billion now. And the top power destroyed is at 1.2.
What are ours at? I think it's like 100 and something billion. I'm trying to look right now.
Yeah, I think Africanus is still in the lead with 100 billion resources rated, and then Chef at
Bulldog
3.2.
Bulldog, who's from our alliance, is 112 billion.
Shout out to Bulldog. How about that?
And shout out to Chef with 3.5 billion power destroyed. That's going to trigger some of our listeners.
Yeah.
Well, the top guy who has power destroyed on our server is his name is Sand Chief. He's actually part of USA, and he usually just shows up at a lot of his defenses with a big enterprise, and he just blows everybody up that shows up. So that's how he kind of got his number up there.
He goes to town, or he gets his panties in a twist and just kills everybody.
So Neotech is not in an alliance? What's up with that?
Neo actually was in my alliance for a long time, and she actually does not play at the moment, I don't think, very much. She has had some issues, I think, and she's been dealing with. And I have two other 50s in my alliance. The second power player is my Admiral, his H&O, and so we've got a good bit in there.
All right. So, do you guys have a server-wide rules of engagement? And if so, what is it? Or is it long? Is it short? Is it simple? Is it overly litigated?
It's kind of complicated compared to other servers. But we do have a row, and it was discussed and, by all the admirals on our admiral server. And it's a lot more complicated than it should be, which, it happens.
Could you read it to us?
Yeah. Basically, no OP or no. It's basically a no loot, no shoot. So if you don't have any loot, don't shoot it.
Now, does that go for warships? Is it only miners?
It's for. Sorry, it's still early. It's mostly for miners. Warships. Warships is a little drawn out because it's if you consider it an aggressive warship. Okay.
So you've actually broken down.
Yes.
What doesn't that get confusing? Because now you're getting into people's intentions, right?
Well, yeah, it's all about perception for a lot of it. But
that's got to cause a lot of fighting.
It's basically if you're defending a base, it's an aggressive warship. If known alliances are near a base that's being raided, they're going to get hit, minor or not. We do have no hit zones. We don't hit in swarm or in token space or warp 65 plus. And we don't really mess with armadas. Everybody just kind of goes and does their armada, and we don't really mess with those.
Is it a rule though?
Yes.
And Strata, can you mute while you're not talking?
Sure. Hold on.
Thank you, bud. So, where was it? So,
we were talking about warships and armadas.
Is it actually spelled out though? Is it too long to kind of read?
No, we have it on a spreadsheet, and it just says basically fat miners or ships showing overflow. Okay, 0 nodes. Okay, except TC space because we agreed that hitting miners zeroed in TC space is no purpose except for power distribution.
Right.
Mining warships, okay. Aggressive miner ships, okay. No hit zones or swarm. Any system requiring a token to access, and warp 65 plus. Base is okay, and armadas are no hit.
So above warp 65, there's no hitting at all?
At warp 65, there's no hitting.
Handy, if you go to our podcast chat, they've actually posted the screenshot.
Well, sure, but better for her to read it than for everybody to go hunted. For our listeners. At any rate, so pretty standard stuff. I mean, I think that kind of falls in line with just about how everybody plays. This doesn't sound too complicated.
No, and we do and just for we are allowed to hit mining warships. So if you put like a Bortus or a Sally on a mine, that is open to hit.
Yeah.
If it's not a miner, we're gonna hit it.
Now I'm curious though. So essentially, warships, unless they're aggressive or whatever, then you can't hit it. So if you're out grinding something, you're never going to get hit?
Not necessarily. It's kind of like, how do I explain? It's kind of like a gentleman's agreement, just a respectful agreement. If you're out hostile hunting, we usually leave it alone unless, somebody's finicky that day and wants to just hit for OPL. Technically, hitting for OPL is okay.
That sounds about in line with most servers. Cool. And no weird, complicated laws or anything like that?
Not really. We have something on our server. We do have a no-hit planet that we established. It actually started out with this guy that played forever, and he ended up getting an aggressive form of cancer. And so it's not even written anywhere. It's just something we all know, and we all kind of work together on it. So we established a no-hit planet for people that are going through, severe medical issues. And we're just like, okay, guys, we have a constant list going that says, don't hit this guy. He's doing this, whatever.
That's actually kind of cool. I like that.
And
what planet is that?
Create one system that, is like you move there and it's a no hit.
Yeah, and we have we actually have a Discord dedicated to it.
Does anybody abuse that though?
We actually haven't had an issue with abuse on it. We kind of are strict about it's so highly regarded on our server. We're really strict about who goes on it. And we check in every month, like what's up with this guy, what's up with this guy. So we haven't really had many abuses with it.
That's good. Cool.
What planet is it, or what system is it?
It's a level 9 system. Yunpak, whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's just this one planet. We always send cords to everybody to make sure new players know where it's at. And we guard it protectively. If somebody says somebody's hitting there, the entire server's on it.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we might steal that. Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad for the reason that we made it. Unfortunately, the guy that we made it for passed away, and we just kind of kept it up after that.
Although, usually when traumatic things happen in somebody's life, there's no warning, and a lot of times they aren't able to get online and even tell people, or have the presence of mind to move their base to a particular spot. But
yeah, it's hit or miss. Luckily, a lot of them, keep in contact with their Admiral. Some of us have voice chats. I have a lot of my players' actual telephone numbers. So they just text me, this is what's going on. I'm like, okay, cool. We'll get on it.
All right, tell me about some of the conflicts that happen on your server that evolve. I guess you guys have been playing for a very long time. I'm assuming because you're a lower server than we are. We're 34. You guys are 25. I assume Scopely is doing this sequentially for a reason. Did you guys have a server war that happened? Did you guys initially come together to create this standard rules of engagement that you have, or what's the deal?
So most of us on the server have been playing together for a long time. We've been on since the beginning, which was, I believe, November of 2008. And we started out with the individual alliance rows. So everybody had a different version of, this is row for us, this is what we accept for us. And it just got too complicated because one guy would hit another alliance and they'd be like, that's not part of our row. And then another guy would hit it just got complicated because you're trying to remember SSR's row is this, AVN's row is this, Alpha 1's row is this. It just got way too complicated. And me and the Admirals, we decided we're spending way too much time dealing with conflict than we are actually playing. So that's kind of what started all the Admirals got together, we all voted, this is cool, this is not.
Bree?
Yeah.
Okay. You there?
Did you just drop out for a sec?
No, she
Did
was
I?
just done talking.
I was just done.
Oh, okay. All right. So, did you guys? So, with the different sort of rows, I guess you guys all came together because you were sick of doing Discord diplomacy, or who was it? I think Bird from Server 12 was like, "We're just sick of playing Star Trek Discord Command."
That's pretty much it. Like legitimately, I was on Discord more than I was playing the game. And I speak for myself here. I was on Discord every day. Like I would have like an hour just to play without anybody bothering me. So a lot of the admirals felt the same. Now, yes, were there wars? Of course. You you can't not have a player base of 1,000 people and there not be wars for something. But eventually,
So,
we came
what were
together
the
and did
wars
it.
for?
How what?
What were the wars for, or how did they start?
Usually it was over. Usually it was over a hit that alliance didn't like, and they were defending like a warship hit or a base hit or whatever, and that's usually what started most of the wars.
A warship hit or a base hit? Oh, okay. And how
Do you
did
have
how
any?
did those wars go? Was it just hitting miners? Did it go into spilling armadas?
Oh no,
Um,
it was hitting everything with which I kind of wish we did our wars when we got this nifty little thing you could mark the alliance now. But when we did our wars, it was just everything. Every person with that tag was getting hit regardless of what they were doing.
And that's pretty
nice.
typical. Are there any mega trolls on the server? Anybody that really stands out as going against the grain and doesn't want to conform, and et cetera, et cetera?
Not as far as conforming to our row. Most agree with it, like player base wise. It's actually kind of used as a weapon. Well, fine, I won't play against or with row, so I'm just gonna go grief the shit out of you.
So do you have players that do that all the time or just occasionally?
Just occasionally. It's it like I said, it goes back to what wars are caused of. It was a hit that they deemed in whatever value system they have was unfair to them, and they go all crazy.
All right, tell me some of those good stories that we were talking about. Some of the funny stories that happened on your server.
So generally, we all get along. Like Tech said, when server 9 popped up, we have a lot of active people that just like the social aspect. So we have a lot of talkers. And we also have a lot of inside jokes with certain things. So one of our stories is a group of us do a happy hour on Fridays, and where we get drunk and just shoot shit and have a good old time. And so now the thing is, and it annoys me now because they think it's funny. They go hashtag where's Aries donkey. And it all started, of course, about a donkey show in Mexico. So now it's a whole big thing on our server where they
Wait. I need clarification here. Were you involved in a donkey show? I'm trying to
No,
connect the dots here.
no. I've actually never been to Mexico.
For any family people listening to this, I am kind of sorry.
No,
Well,
so
luckily we're not saying anything.
it just became an inside joke. So we always pass the buck on who's got it, and then we go hit them, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. Um, we and I'm sorry for any server 9 that comes over. We do those kind of jokes. We are a bunch of dirty people. I don't call my squad heathens for no reason.
I'd say it's pretty universal. I think everybody I've interacted with on this has been very capable of being dirty.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's regardless of if we're warring or fighting, a lot of us we know how to joke with each other. We've been playing together so long, we just know how jokes go with each other. If that's going to rub that person off wrong, whatever, we just joke around a lot because it's supposed to be fun. It's a game. Come on now.
So who's Aries at this point?
He's actually one of my closest friends that I played with forever, and he is in one of our alliances, and he just likes to say the most random things, and it's freaking great. And I have one too, so everybody knows Santa. That is my GC guy.
Your GC guy?
Yeah, he keeps it somewhat entertaining, and we have and I'm gonna give a shout out because he's been giving me a hard time. Trike, we have this guy named Trike, and him and Santa go at it, and it's pretty funny. Well, to me, but
do they take it very serious?
No, they don't. They just talk a lot. They basically talk a lot of shit, and yeah, there's a lot of love there.
So what do you think's going to happen when you merge?
You know, I've been asked this a lot, and it's how I view it is it's going to be just like when everybody first started, you know, in their server. It's going to be chaos for a little bit, and eventually we'll figure out something, you know, a road that we can both agree on, or we'll just, you know, do the individual rows again, and it's just like starting over. It's like you started the game over in a new server, just with bigger ships.
Right. See, I always speculate that it's really going to end up being server versus server, if you guys don't agree. It is.
I mean, it could. I mean, realistically, we're all speculating anyway. You know, you never know what can happen when somebody comes over.
Hey, Santa, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much. You?
Hello, my darling.
Hello, my darling, Mistress Reed.
I guess I'm just watching Fried Time Travel, I guess. to prevent you from ever happening.
When Ree says we don't take things seriously, she means me mostly.
Pretty much.
For me, I have a lot of physical and emotional disabilities. And so I use this game 99% social gathering place. And I may be a level 36, but I'm probably one of the weakest 36 you'll ever find. And I don't give a shit. Nope.
And we in the ass often.
What was that, Ree?
Ding.
Ting, ting. Yeah.
Infinite Key is going to be your number one fan when you guys merge. I guess he is already your number one fan.
It's hilarious because I've already got a bunch of shitheads who love me on Server 9's server. I call them my shitheads because every time I post something, they post the poop icon. So they're my shitheads.
That's better than what he calls me, so it's okay.
Hey, Tech. Hold on. Take a pause real quick. For those of you in the audience, I see a lot of people raising their hands. We kind of have a general direction we're going with here, so we definitely want to hear from you. But please don't be upset if we're not immediately bringing you up to the stage. We're trying to have a kind of a general flow here, and it's really hard with as many people as we have on stage.
Oh yeah, and I just want to point out that this podcast is public, so a lot of people showing up for the first time aren't necessarily part of the game or part of the server. So just bear that in mind.
Like I
Any
started playing the game because it was Star Trek, and I'm more of a PvE kind of player. I play Star Trek Online mostly, and that's 99% PvE. So the PvP for me is just boring, and I stick with the missions and other stuff. But I will defend. Yesterday we had, as Ree said, we had somebody attack our no-hit planet. I threw out an all call to all the alliances, and with there were 20 ships there that station.
Hey, Santa, your voice is cutting in and out a little bit.
Probably my crappy Logitech microphone. I apologize.
Just keep it close to your face. It should be fine.
Why are you encouraging that?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like Infinite Key posted on his Server 9 chat that, when we had Gregor on from Server 9, he was basically saying that when there's a server merge, he doesn't necessarily see it being a server versus server kind of entity battle, if you will. But from Infinite Key's post on Server 9, it says, "Who knew our mutual hatred for Santa would unite Server 9?" So I think it will be a server versus server kind of mentality. Just because Santa likes...
Santa will be Santa always, and we're used to him. It's just kind of like one of those things, and we've actually talked to each other from Server 9 and Server 25, and it will be what it will be.
And how many times have you banned me from the ABC Discord?
About to be 10th.
Like I said, it's Server 25 is my family. If somebody needed my last $10, I'd give it to them.
So what was the communication like between Server 9 and Server 25 once you got the message?
When we got
first it was shit talk.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Well, yeah. But when we first found out what server it was on, a lot of us Admirals got together and took the initiative and made a Discord for the leadership over there, just to get to really know like the type of people and kind of like a meet and greet kind of thing, because it really doesn't have to be a server versus server, but if it is, it is. I'm kind of a go with the flow kind of person, so.
Do you have a date for the merge?
I'm getting conflicting stories, but the last I heard was the next maintenance, which is July.
Probably the 1st of July. Yeah, probably in early July. You're probably going to start seeing some events, just specific to yours as server.
Well, they were saying our events should start next week or this week.
Oh, okay. So, again, sorry, coming back to the original question of how many active people, it seems like you guys have a good group of active people on your server. So do you know why you were chosen to merge? I know from Server 9's perspective, there's only maybe, at best, on a very good day, 400 active people. How many do you believe are active on your server, and why do you think you guys were chosen for the merge?
I mean, we did a rough count, and like very rough. We just went on what a lot like we took the top 15, I think, and we did just a rough count. And we'd say about, and this is a rough estimate, we say about 600. And the only thing that I can honestly think of is a lot of we've kind of tripped the system because a lot of our alliances work together on a lot of things, and we jump to different alliances. Like, most of us don't stay in the same alliance.
We are why they destroy.
Well, at first it was the help glitch, because when you jump to a different alliance, you got a reset on your helps. So your cut down time was literally half, if not 70%, when you jumped through.
Well, they fixed that.
Yeah, which
Yeah. We were why they fixed it.
Yeah.
that's
I
probably
don't.
true.
I don't think it's just you guys, but yeah, it was being very well exploited on other servers.
Yeah, and that was a commonplace here. You know, you generally knew what group a person was from, but
All right, so you guys have a lot of, it seems like, free to play players. So I guess maybe it's the amount of power that you have. So you may have more active people, like 600, than server 9, but it seems like in terms of power disparity might be the same.
which could be it, because ABC is pretty much free to play. We do have some spenders, but we're mostly free to play players. And of course we have our spenders. And I don't know how they calculate who goes in for a server merge, because we were hitting, when they were doing the monthly merger events, we were hitting it before day's end. So I'm not entirely sure how they calculated it.
Now, have we had a server merger anywhere since territory capture started?
Oh yeah, 10 and 18 merged. I think another 2 are going through another merge.
And what, they just clear the TC board and everybody gets placed somewhere on the map, or what?
If I remember correctly, I believe everything gets reset.
Mm.
So once the server events are up, and whoever merged, then what they do is they dump the accounts into one server, and then everything gets reset at that point.
That's what we were told, is territories is pretty much a blank slate again.
Well, that should be fun.
Better get your level 50 Neotex back so she could play against Gregor.
I hate territories.
Yeah, so do I. I stopped playing mostly territory stuff in January.
Why is that?
Why?
I'm not a fan of the times. Like, a lot of the times for takeover are, well, at least for me, are midday, during the week when I'm working, and it sucks.
Yeah, I think that's pretty universal, but that doesn't mean that you totally give up. So how many territories do you have?
Alon has 3. No, 1. Braun has 3. No, Braun has 5, and Sean has 3.
I have 1 for the specific reason of just jumping to get the particles we need, because that's all we really need it for. Because I don't care about any of the other shit.
But in total, all of our territories are filled right now.
The research is incredibly important, though.
Well, no, that's why you go get the particles for the research. You can jump and hold a 1 or 2 and get enough particles for your research to go. Now you can hold a 3, and there's a minimal amount of 3s, but you can hold 3 territories, 1, 2, and a 3, and still get the particles you need.
For the most part, yes. But
that requires daily jumps, doesn't it?
It happens a lot faster if you're moving around. I'm curious if any of the other servers have set up a territory swap schedule, like where alliances literally drop all their territories and move around.
Well, and that's also why we keep the jump system in. Instead of the helps, we jump from alliance to alliance.
Yeah, but that's a huge pain. Wouldn't it be easier just to move the whole alliance?
If you want to waste the ISO, sure.
How is that a waste?
Well, if you figure a player can go to, like, say, we can go to 6 different alliances in 6 different territories. We don't have to spend our ISOs to challenge a new territory. we can use that towards refining. Get all of our stuff, get our research, so on and so forth, without spending it to conquer a new territory.
Right.
Well, I mean, Handy, territories, if you're free to play, territories are almost impossible to maintain, especially a 3-star or a 3, what is it, one of the G4 zone territories.
Macala.
Those are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we don't maintain them. We don't activate any of the buffs except for Metreon.
Yeah, I think at Darks, guys spend money on packs just to activate them all every time.
Yeah, but that's just so unnecessary. The buffs aren't that great typically.
No, they're not. They're not too big of a deal either. I think they reactivated a bunch of buffs the other day, and I think it brought my jellyfish like from 5.789 to like a grand whopping 5.814 or something.
Yeah, it's all about the particles, really.
Right, so why activate all those buffs that don't do much for you?
I don't know.
Just the particle ones.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I just think it's interesting. Because on our server, for example, and I would encourage people to really probably sit down and do math, figure it out for themselves what they want to do, but we literally just set up a schedule where the entire alliance just moves and swaps with people. So if you're an alliance with 2 systems, you hook up with another alliance with systems that has a different particle and swap with them. No big deal.
We have done that in the past. Sean, for example, the Charlie 1, we were swapping with the largest alliance for one of the 3-star systems. And I think we're still doing that. But if we can just jump for a day into their alliance or into another alliance and get the particle we don't have, for us it just makes more sense, and it's just a little bit easier than taking all the time, I guess, to fight for a territory that we really don't permanently.
Well, the idea is that you wouldn't fight for the territory. You just agree to swap.
Yeah, and that's what we do.
And that's an idea going forward, but with a merge and even rows already complicated, that will definitely take time to coordinate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It would be really difficult, probably, to do it right out the gate. But I would encourage you to try. To both servers, I would encourage you guys to see if you can take the top, 5 alliances from each server, get together, and kind of divvy up territories and say, hey, why don't I take this, this, and this? Unless you want to just do the free-for-all, because that's fun too. But you could save a lot of time. I mean, think of all the scheduling and time you would save from trying to go in and, win these territories yourself. Or you could just say, fuck Scopely, and basically, not make a huge conflict out of it.
We do.
I think
that.
I think Infinite Key is just wanting to go. And so is Nitsy.
Is Nitsy listening? Hi,
yeah,
Nitsy.
I'll just bring up Nitsy to speak.
Oh, boy.
Hey,
this is going to get
fun.
Hey,
Nitsy.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Nitsy. Ho, ho, ho.
I truly enjoyed your selfies, although some of them I thought you were wearing too much clothing.
Do you think I'm wearing too much clothing?
Yeah, I think the Santa hat was a bit too much.
And now I don't need breakfast.
You want it weird? Not weird.
I'm sure you and Infinite Key, man, you guys are just itching to fight some new people because you guys are pretty PvP oriented.
We
We
here
have
at the
been
Trek Talk podcast are very, very interested in you bringing your family to listen. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Sunday afternoon.
we've been looking for a good fight in territories for a long time. It's gotten so stagnant, and essentially a lot of alliances have literally just moved around the board because they've been bored. There's a lot of really, really good stuff that comes from territories between the buffs and the research and getting all your particles, and those are things that are worth fighting for if you're playing the game.
Oh, I agree. It is fun to do, but I do also believe that in some kind of controlled manner, so it's not just, months and months of battling, 3 days out of the week, and literally missing work and stuff to be there for your team. It gets old real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it goes the opposite direction too, man. You don't have enough going on, and you lose so much interest in the game. You at that point you're like logging into open chests, and like that's pretty much it.
I just encourage people to keep it balanced. Don't turn it into this chore where you start hating the game over it. You have to feel like you have to do it.
Keep it
But at
keep
the
it
same time,
balanced,
you don't
says
want
the
it to
level 50
stagnate.
guy.
You don't want it to stagnate and get so boring that you end up putting the game down because you're bored. So somewhere in the middle.
Says the guy that has nowhere else to go. You've maxed out.
Well, they've upped events like crazy, like having Swarm, doing your battle pass points, doing all that stuff. It's just I personally don't want to have to stress out over what time territories is. And I'm okay with fighting for one. I've done it. Actually lost 5, and I'm okay with that because my guys fought their asses off. So fight or no fight.
How is the lag in your server?
That's the other concern that I was talking to somebody about is we already have insane amount of lag when we fight over territories now with our groups. So adding a whole bunch of other people, the lag's going to be ridiculous.
There have been times during takeover where it can take, and I do go to some of the takeovers, but it can take 30, 40 seconds for a battle to start, or and you can't. There are times when we can't even get ships into the system because there are already so many people in the system fighting for that territory.
Well, hopefully Scopely adds some bandwidth because their servers are rented. They rent space on servers and bandwidth, right? So these companies with these online games, that's just how they work, right?
Yeah.
So
they all run it they either run on Microsoft Azure or Amazon Web Services. In the case of Scopely, it's Amazon Web Services.
We need to. I think what they really need to do is, and it's gonna butt hurt some people, but whatever, you'll get over it. Because you don't really contribute. Most of them, not heavy contributors anyway. But is the people that were using to override the glitch where there was like warping in the system after it and then clicking stop to get over it. I think Scopely needs to go in there because it just makes it worse, and it just becomes a point where some of these alliances, we saw it happen several times on our server. They may have some decent power, but we both know in a heads-up fight that they couldn't win, and there's nothing they can do to argue that point. So what they would do is they would purposefully try to bog down the server to so that they could kind of win without actually having to do real PvP because they knew that they were getting just mud stomped. And so what they need to do is they really need to fix that to where even if you try to do that, your ship, it won't allow you to stop. Like, nope, you're still not going to that system. Because we saw a lot of people doing that, especially some of the people from some of the other top alliances that, they may be in that alliance, but they don't really have any power to speak of. They're not really contributing as far as, battle's concerned. So we saw a lot of people do that, and we saw them bog down servers. And so, they would win, but it was through an exploitation of, sort of the server lag and then the glitching that was occurring.
Yeah, I mean, any way somebody can get ahead in a game, they're going to going to do it. I mean, that's just how it is. Doesn't matter if it's petty or considered a cheat or a workaround or a glitch.
Well, like I said, I'm hoping that with the merge that they do up our bandwidth, because like I said, especially with Discovery summoning, people are trying to, summon in all their big boys, and half of the time it doesn't even summon off. So that's going to be interesting to see when we merge.
Like I spoke to
Go
ahead.
Go ahead, Santa.
The last major takeover we had, I actually went into Discord and spoke to Old Man, and he's like, "There's not much we can do right now. We know that there's major lag on your server, but can't do crap." And I was like, "Oh, great."
Well, that's their answer for everything, and the reality is they can do something about it. They're just not going to. So it's their way of telling you to shove off.
Nitsy here is looking for a fight. So is Infinite Key. When you guys merge, what are you guys going to do?
Send them. No.
Well, whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm a go with the flow type person. We start fighting. It is what it is. I look at it like it's, like I said, I look at it like it's I just started the game. Everybody was fighting everybody. There was no row. There was no nothing. And that's kind of how I look at it.
Nitsy, are you just dying to fight right now?
Kinda. I want to serve. Let's just merge it right now. Let's go.
I just want it because I'm kind of I'm over all the talking stuff. Let's just do it. Come on, get it over with.
But I have to ask something, and this might seem very one-sided, but please lose the server events. There's no way in hell we want to be server Connie.
Well, who says we want to be server 9?
No, you'd be server Sol. That's cool, but server Connie, I mean.
Okay,
man.
I will agree.
Is that the name of your server? Server Constitution?
Connie for short, yes.
Okay. And then I will fully admit I hate the server name. I think it's freaking stupid. Give me or something.
Whoever wins, if we could just find a way to keep it as maybe Sol, because nobody wants to lose Sol.
No, I agree.
If we could keep server 25, change the name, I'd be fine with that.
Server 9 is pretty rallied to fight to make sure that we don't have the name changed. So,
wait, are Nitsy and I agreeing on something here?
It's terrible.
What the hell is going on here?
Oh my god! I think the universe is exploding.
I think we got Mirror Nitsy.
Mirror Nitsy, yeah. I agree. I kind of like the name of our server, Jaeger. I mean, it's just
Jägermeister.
Kind of out of the blue there. I think somebody was drinking at Scopely when they named our server.
Probably. When aren't they?
Well, there's only like 5 people that work at Scopely anyway.
It's going to be interesting.
Somebody was naming our server after a wife or something.
It's going to be interesting fighting, though. It's going to be interesting fighting with players, seeing how everybody kind of reacts. You get to know people and how they are by being on opposing teams a lot faster than being on the same team. A lot of the players that we have in our alliance, we fought them primarily. Like that's how it was. You get to know them through how they fight, how they interact with you, and you realize, hey, we got lots in common. Let's fight together against somebody else, and it just kind of builds from there. So maybe we'll like each other, but let's do it after a while. Like, I mean, got to drop the gloves and have some fun first.
Somebody say drop the gloves?
Nope, just don't drop the soap and you're fine.
Just a bloody street brawl.
I'm a Canadian. Hockey's in my blood, eh? Drop the gloves any day.
Yeah, so Santa, since you're Canadian and a bunch of Server 9 is Canadians, I guess you'll be reuniting with your kinsmen. But what's the server demographic usually like on 25? Is it mainly Americans and Canadians?
90% American, 8% Canadian, and 2% South American.
That's I have half my alliance is Brazilian.
Well,
now
that's
those
South
are
America.
funny folks.
That is South America. Santa is right. How's the language barrier with them?
We have a couple. We have a couple that speak pretty good English and can read English. We instead of doing Discord with them, we have a separate WhatsApp with them, and so it's easier to communicate. And they're awesome. They're way awesome crew. That I'm glad to have on my team because they're a fiery bunch, and I love them.
I don't know if he's listening, but shout out to Dry. Do you know if he's listening, Ree?
I don't see him down there in the.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in there.
Dry, shout out to you, brother.
So what's got anybody excited the most? Is it just the meeting new people? Because you guys have already had interactions with one another. And are you guys excited to be on the same server? Or is Infinite Key just wanting to hit your ship, Santa, because you're the biggest troll ever that he's ever seen?
Then he hasn't met Akatak or Ash.
This is funny because Keith's actually the nicest guy in the server. Just saying.
That's not what I've heard.
That's the point. He's the nicest guy in the server.
I'm excited. I think it'll be cool to play with new people because, like I said, and what I've understood is both servers pretty much have all been playing together for a couple years. So it'll be interesting to see new people and, see what we can do together or against each other.
Being
all right, and
a pacifist. Anybody
Santa,
wants a hug, I'll give you a hug.
Hey, quick question, Santa. Your avatar, is that the robot Santa from Futurama, by the way?
No. That is my Star Trek Online avatar.
Oh, okay. All right. For some reason, I think I was thinking you're like the robot Santa from Futurama, because that would be cool.
Mind you, that's my 2013 of my avatar.
Okay. Kirk, did you just call me a nerd? We're doing a Star Trek podcast here.
Oh, nothing nerdy about that.
I'm not. We're all nerds. I'm not even the only one. Our friend Jim over at the 50% Facts podcast gave us a shout out and referred to us as nerds. So I guess it's a term of endearment. It's a term of endearment amongst our own, I guess.
Wait, this is a Star Trek podcast? Shit, I missed the meeting.
No, the after hours one comes next. Don't worry, just suffer through this.
Strange and Kirk and
Fine.
If you look in the chat, I just posted my 2018, 2020 Santa Claus avatar.
So that's Benjamin Sisko holding a phaser rifle.
No, it's a
with a white
non / he's an alien being with Q powers. Is how I play, and I have a Twitter account that for both him and my replicator accounts. So hit me up.
Yeah, that's mega nerd. That's mega nerd.
I'm a mega nerd.
Yeah. Who is it? Race Boy's like, dude, you gotta get a better mic.
Yeah, well, Race Boy, send me some money. I'm poor. Remember that.
I think he sounds all right.
It just cuts in and out every once in a while.
It could be Discord.
We all do. It's Discord.
It could also be, I don't know.
And that's for the best. Trust me on this one.
He could also be talking with his hands and moving his mouth away from the mic. That could be it too.
I am.
How did you know?
There's Medic 7222. Shout out to you for.
Wait. You guys have a medic?
That's from server 9.
We do have a medic.
As far as I've heard, every server has a medic.
I'll see your medic and raise you our medic.
I will see
both
you.
Medics. Both medics are listening.
Medic. And I will see you. What is it? We have about 25 or 30 veterans. So, Warlord, if you're out there, shout out to you.
We got an alliance called. Well, never mind.
No.
Kirk's favorite alliance.
Oh my god! I don't think it's. Anyway, there's a particular alliance, and anyway, they've. Yeah, I think it's best. We may alienate some people here. I have some opinions on those people. They know who they are, and some of our friends know who they are, but nobody else knows who they are because they don't need to know who they are because they're irrelevant.
Very ominous.
The
It's the big that guy, that one guy.
That prick is more appropriate, but
Okay, well, that prick, that asshole, it's still that one guy.
I think we call their, not we, but people have called their Admiral the male version of Jeep. Nobody knows on here who Jeep is.
Oh,
No.
Handy knows. Handy knows, and that's too many.
What do I know?
It's the male version of Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They call it Gigolo. It's okay.
No. It's someone who has I don't know. It's somebody on our server that is a pseudo intellectual, and it's really funny. Super condescending, has no power to back up their mouth, and it's really interesting watching them kind of
Cough, Flynn Shady, cough.
It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty. I mean, we all know everybody's a human being outside of the game, right? But we know that in the game, your mouth should only produce checks that your power level can cash, and this dude is definitely not one of them.
Server 25 has Flynn Shady. He was level 14 for about 2 years.
He's still level 14 and goes by Flynn the Outlaw.
Why? Why level 14? I mean, obviously, you know,
that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
We'll send you his base quartz. Oh, and then there's Hartman.
God, I bet his jellyfish was awesome.
Well, we have had a few players who were server-wide KOS, so you know.
Hey Nitsy, don't you have somebody on your server that's also like perma 15 or perma 17?
She just won 20 recently.
Oh my god!
After 2.5 years.
Congratulations on level 20 to that player.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
well, enjoy your
single new player.
Yeah.
And the goal of every new player is to get away from her as quickly as possible. So she's really good at that.
But you guys haven't had any new players in a long time, have you?
We've had a few stragglers that come in. I mean, I'm sure half of them are alts, but there's been a few players who actually have come in new. But it just trickled in. It's pretty rare.
We had a guy come in yesterday trying to pretend to be an old player. He's like, I haven't played in a while, but well, can I join an alliance? Nope, no vacancies.
Well, I don't know if y'all remember when they closed. Nitsy might remember this when they closed the servers for a while there for a few months.
Oh, here's a good
Ours
question.
was actually closed for quite a while.
Here's a good question for you all. We all know that you're not supposed to do it, and it's actually in the. I think Scopely actually has a thing in their policy where you're not supposed to sell accounts and stuff like that. But we all know that it happens. We've seen it happen. We probably all know somebody that it has happened to. Have you guys had anybody? You guys or gals haven't had anybody that has, kind of achieved a pretty decent higher level account and then turned around and sold it to someone else?
Yes, we have.
We have one. I'm not going to mention their name, but everybody in our server knows exactly who it is. They bought this account like in the age of Starsky and Hutch at like level 41, and now they're at level 42, and they really haven't done anything. So I think they spent all the money that they were going to spend on the game on that account. So that person, it's like almost like they're pretty stagnant.
There's a whole website dedicated to selling accounts from multiple different games. So it does happen.
Player Up, yep. That's one of the sites that I...
So what does the level 50 account go for? I'm asking for a friend.
$3,000.
Not enough.
I like what Key posted. It's like somebody's like, I'm looking for an alliance. All those to choose from are private. And Gregor's like, welcome to Server 25. Alt, nice to have you with us. And the guy responds, thank you.
Pretty much, yeah. That's what I said yesterday to the guy came out like, yeah, no. I may be Santa Claus, but I'm not that dumb. Everybody shut up.
Hey,
and we all knew as soon as the server merger was announced that players were going to
actually
swap
Kirk,
back and forth.
Kirk, I think that level 41 account that you're talking about was actually sold twice.
Really? You think it was sold twice?
Yeah. Because the person who had it before, the person you're talking about now, bought it from somebody else.
I don't think so.
Was one of those? Did one of those people involve someone who maybe had some English issues?
I don't know.
Some English issues.
Yeah, so I'm just so,
very tactful.
Yeah, I don't really care. Whatever. The people. If it's one of those, if you know, you know. The people that know, they know what I mean by it. So it's fine. Anybody else? Shut up.
We know what you mean.
But yes, I would encourage people to not purchase accounts because there's just a stigmata around it. Like you've cut in line, you haven't paid your dues, you're never going to get the respect you want.
Bingo.
Well, and frankly, if you buy an account that you don't know, like where that account came from, you don't know what rep that account has. So you could be KOS as soon as you buy the damn account.
Yep.
Yeah, but if it's got a Tribune,
but I gotta believe
it's got a Tribune, who
buy an
cares?
account without looking.
Well, like I said, there's a bunch of player based where people sell accounts from different games, and they just go in there and buy an account to a different server. Well, you don't know what that guy or girl or whatever did on that server.
Yeah.
And there's a reason it's going up for sale.
How funny would that be to buy an account and find out it's banned? Or it's about to be banned?
That would be hilarious as hell.
Can you imagine someone buying Chef's account like a year and a half ago?
That would be entertaining.
Anyway.
They come in, no, I swear I'm a different person. Yeah, whatever.
Wait, where have you heard that, Ree? I swear I'm different.
We don't believe you.
I changed. I went to rehab. It's fine.
Hey, we have a couple people like that. Shout out to their success.
Not the same rehab, I think. But no, the game has been good. I've enjoyed the game mostly. But, there are some idiots in the game, obviously. There's idiots in every game, right? And Ria's kept me from going insane.
Don't hold that to me.
Oh, that was nice.
I will not be responsible for that.
She's Server 25's mother hen.
Hey now.
Dude, don't put that shit on me.
You know it's true, girl.
Why did that come about anyway?
Because I've been around way too damn long.
And she's spent too much time in Discord. I can relate.
That too.
I can relate.
Handy's our mother hen.
With a name like Handy, how could he not be? Come on now.
Hey now.
So, does he, or is he just being handy?
You cut out what?
Does he give handies, or is he just handy?
Both.
Oh, I'm just. I only give handies to people inside my ally.
How do you think that he's able to solve all the diplomatic issues that we have?
Yeah, good reach around solves lots of problems. Just saying.
That's what Ree does.
Who understands me?
Oh God, man. Wait a minute. You're giving The reach around. Hold on a minute now. This opens up the box.
Usually.
What kind of nacelles are you packing?
Once.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken.
You got the
Hey,
auger
you said that
obliterator
podcast
going.
wasn't until later, Kirk. Come on, don't lie to me now.
Just saying, you got the auger obliterator going on. Do you cause burning? We do know a doctor, Inko. He could probably help you.
I know a few doctors. If it's burning, you might want to go see one.
No, the burning is Edge. Armageddon's Edge. That's our burner.
So, okay. So what you're saying is that she causes morale in the server.
Yes.
She's the Kirk of the server. More
Wow, way to make me sound like a hooker.
Comic relief. How about that?
I don't know.
Oh, that's me. Don't give her my job.
Santa's comic relief.
All right, geez, Pete, guys, look at this audience. Jesus.
Just Reese here.
I see a lot of my lovelies. I love it.
I also see a lot of people who definitely look like they don't play the game and they just hopped in.
That's fine.
And
I see
cool.
a lot of my ABC fam, and I love it. You guys are awesome. And my Waco, my allies forever. Hi to you guys.
So Tech, we have this. What else do you have going on? So I was going to say we have this huge audience, and honestly, there's a lot of people that want to come say things, but we don't all know because I just got done talking to someone who just wanted to randomly jump in, and I was like, dude, do you play the game? Oh no. Okay, well that's what this is about. I'm sorry, man. It's not like a general discussion thing. So.
Perfect.
All right, I didn't ask this, Bree or Santa. Do you guys have an alliance who's just dedicated to mining? Like they always win Mining Monday?
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
It's kind of we have individual players that compete against each other loudly in GC, and it's kind of funny. But it kind of rotates.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it kind of rotates. Usually, and I will be humble here, it's usually AVN or SSR that wins it. There are money players. And honestly, we wouldn't be here without our money players. And as much as sometimes they piss me off and I have to go on a rant, I do appreciate them for what they give to the game too.
You're here.
Why do money players piss you off?
You hear that, Handy? People like you.
It's just individual players that piss me off. But I'm a hot-headed redhead, so what do you expect?
Well, apparently we shouldn't expect much.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Who just said that?
I just.
Nitsy, was that you?
You hurt
No,
my
man. I was about to stand up for her.
Soul.
You don't ever cross a redhead.
No.
Handy,
They will eat
I'm
your
very
soul.
sensitive. I'm very sensitive. Okay, you might hurt my my feeling. Okay, that's enough. I can't even do that. Sorry.
What feelings are you talking about?
Well, I almost vomited saying that. So
if you don't have anything that can stand up to an intrepid, then Handy doesn't really care much about your feelings.
Yeah. That's not.
You mean a Newton?
Excuse me, a Newton. Yeah, a Newton.
What's your Newton at Netsy? Or Handy? Sorry.
Oh, I don't have a Newton.
I think like 16 or 17 million, somewhere around there. It's not too powerful.
ooh, I want to touch it.
Hey now.
Well, there's few people flying around our server that's got 10 million power on.
Hey, I just said I wanted to touch his Newton. Okay, leave me alone.
It's okay.
Jeez, I think one of our guys, Chemo, one of our folks, freaking 28 million on that damn thing.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah, he popped Handy's cherry like after 5 hits.
Well, I do know that the most powerful ship on our server right now is 36 million.
Is that the Tribune?
I believe that would be Neo's Tribune, yes. Raceboy could tell me better because he knows all of our ships.
Yeah, that Tribune's a freaking monster, man. Just a beast.
And I know, like, she's got 2 Kelvins.
How many? 2?
2 Kelvins.
2 Kelvin. Oh, okay.
Why 2?
Oh,
Well, Chef's got 2 for base defense.
And I don't agree with that either. I don't see the point in building 2.
It's not your game, Handy. Let other people play other people's games, man.
I didn't say they couldn't do it. I just said I don't get it.
Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion, even if it's wrong, Handy. It's okay.
Although I'm kind of
including the redhead.
I'm kind of being a hypocrite right now because I do have 6 jellies.
Jelly!
ISS jellies? Holy shit.
Yeah. Well,
Handy's got 6.
They keep giving them to
Why,
me, so I just keep.
Why do you have 6 Handy? I mean, why do you have 6? Why do you have 6 jellies?
The candy.
That's a personal question there, Tech.
Now look, there's a good reason a man has 6 handies. I'm not going to get into that reason, but
yeah, we won't get into that today.
Tomorrow, not today.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you just keep getting a bunch of blueprints for jelly, I mean, you might as well build it, right? Because then you can go fly around 6 jellies at one time. Why not?
I think
Nitsy
is going to have fun trying to find me or try to hit me because I'm a level 36, but I have no enterprise yet. I've been searching for the blueprint, but I just haven't been lucky enough.
He just talks a lot.
Yeah.
Nitsy, what's your highest ship?
Right now it's the Katinga.
Chinga.
What do you have it up to?
It's around 10 mil.
Nice. Respectable.
Yeah.
Key, what's your Key? Your pylum is what? 15 mil now. Infinite Key, not Grand Admiral Key. 13 million. All right, cool.
Yeah, there's quite a few of us that are close to the rares. A couple of guys in our alliance have the majority of the blueprints to grab 2 of the rares from 2 different factions. So we're kind of all looking forward to this because it'll give us a reason to go to 46 and build them.
Are you looking forward for the Coronar?
Yes. Yeah. I'm only going to be short. If I was to spend all the Klingon credits, I'd only be short about 16 blueprints right now.
Nice.
One guy on our server has the Coronar, and that thing is just beastly.
Yeah, it's a very effective ship, actually.
Race boy, my best is a 675k cent. Centurion.
Yeah, I'll happily go against you if you want. I'll put my Stella against it.
Screw that. I'll just use my North Star.
He's one of our talking free players. We love him, but he's weird.
Like, you have room to talk on that.
I'm weird and proud.
Yeah, so Santa, were you the guy that Nitsy, when I visited server 9 Discord, it was deader than a fucking cemetery. And with the server 25 folks now invading it in a particular fashion, are you happy that there's activity?
Well, sure, it looks good. It means more people are using the combined Discord versus their own. Well, they're using their own as much too, but now they've got a reason to come somewhere and start trolling again.
Oh no, we thank you for that. It's distracted Santa from clogging up mine.
Huh? What?
Yeah, don't tell him that.
That server was built a long time ago, and there was a lot of political stuff that went on, and people just kind of went, well, whatever, and just started ignoring it. And basically, when it becomes a dumpster fire, people just don't really care to go. So it just sat there. And
when did the dumpster fire end up imploding the server?
What do you mean? When did the server implode?
No, well, I mean the Discord server, not the actual server.
When there was an attempt to have a group of admirals and people putting in their opinions as to what ROE should be, and as soon as you had too many people throwing in their ideas, it just became beyond chaotic, and we just said, enough of this, because there was a server ROE at one, and a bunch of the admirals just said, enough of this. This is how we're going to play. We're not going to tell you how to play. This is our ROE, how we're going to play, and it's this simple. It's 3 lines. That's it.
Our the server 25 admin, she's been really good, and she's kept most of the politics out. Sometimes people just don't know when to shut up and keep politics out of it.
Cough, Santa.
Shush. I was saying myself. But, yeah, I try not to bring politics in, but
the biggest thing for row discussions is keep the circular logic out of it, and don't argue the opposing side just for the sake of arguing.
Yes.
Like, I've seen people contradict themselves before on our server. That literally will argue the opposite just because they want to argue.
Yeah, people have done that, and it just pisses off the people who are actually trying to make a difference, and then they give up.
Exactly. So that's the biggest issue I've seen with row discussions, is you just got to keep that, you just got to stay on topic, and no circular logic, and don't argue when you don't need to be arguing.
Oh, you guys are talking in-game politics.
Well,
I've seen people argue when they agree with the other person, and they still try and start an argument. What?
Well, people argue just to argue, even if they agree with you, and that's something.
It's so asinine.
It is. It's ridiculous. And it gets frustrating. So I totally get it, because at one point, I was there and I was just like, you know what, do what you want. We're gonna do this. I was on the same point as Nitsy, just like, screw this shit.
Yeah, and on the same point, though, it's people start arguing not for the people in their alliance or for the good of the server. They're just arguing for themselves with very selfish interests, and that just bleeds into the point where people who are actually trying to help the entirety of a server or help a few alliances or whatever it is. I mean, not everybody's got the entirety of the server on. I mean, if you've got 1,500 players, you can't expect one rule to work for everybody. But if you're down, like we're down to 400 or 500 players, and we just said to everyone, like, look, this is how we're going to play. You don't like it? Oh well. I mean, our alliance has been slandered for so long, we don't even care anymore.
The reality is, the top alliance, typically, from my experience, however they are going to play, most people are gonna try and play that way just to knock issues, right?
But Nitsy, didn't we establish that it's your fault that everybody left? Didn't we blame you for that at one point?
Yeah, it's definitely his fault.
Well, you say it's from blowing up all the ships, but I'm pretty sure that it's just from all the station raiding. I think more players left because they found their stations quite empty, and that would be our fault.
Shield or share, my friend.
What you're saying is, no matter how the cookie crumbles, it's your fault.
Exactly.
I just don't agree, though. I mean, well, at least on our server, people don't always. I mean, most people don't leave just because of station raids.
No, I mean, for a lot of our people, once they're drained, a lot of people will drop out of an alliance and let them raid them for a little while to get some mats back. I mean, that happens all the time. So
yeah, I mean, if somebody's free to play, I mean, all you got to do is ask your teammates for help. Don't just give up. Like, there's so many good people on this game that will help you recoup your losses. All you got to do is ask.
Yeah, that's kind of standing policy, at least with my guys, is if one of our guys gets drained, dude, don't sweat it. We'll go raid. We'll crack it. You feed. No big deal.
Or even just, leave the alliance and raid your own people.
We've done that too. When
it's just no reason to quit. All players are valued, no matter how much of a pain in the butt. I mean, this game becomes not fun when there's nobody to play with. So don't quit. I mean, unless you really want to quit. If you want to quit, whatever. But if you really want to keep playing the game, don't use an excuse like, "Oh, I got drained. I'm just sick of it."
Well,
I mean, just ask for help, and people will help.
a
Give
lot
them
of
a chance.
people that have quit here is due to a lot of scopely issues, and like we had shields dropping before they were supposed to, mines not working, all that other stuff. So a lot of people quit because they get frustrated. They set up a shield, do what they're supposed to do, and like 4 hours into their 12-hour shield, it drops.
Yeah, that was a big issue for a while. I don't know if it's still happening, but
No, they actually fixed it. What was happening was if you used to have a shield and you set your miners out to mine overnight, what happens is if you were OPL or you were zero node and somebody attacked your ship, the battle log would say that your miner attacked their warship, and that's why your shield dropped.
right.
That's what the issue was. So if you didn't mine at night, if you just kept your ships home and or weren't hit overnight, then your shield wouldn't drop.
There was a funny glitch like that. I don't know if anybody else saw it. We had a one that two different systems, and yet another ship would attack another ship. So, like, say I was in Pajem, and somebody would be in, let's say, I wish I had the battle report still. This was a while ago. And somebody was in one of the link systems, and they hit a hostile. Somehow they'd kill me, even though they weren't in the same system.
That's awesome.
We also had that protected planet, I guess we'll call it, where, and I think it was Pajem as well. It's always Pajem. But you could sit at the system at this particular planet. No, it was Aphroditeals or whatever.
Oh, that's right. And you couldn't get hit.
Yeah,
like,
you could be unshielded and nobody could hit you.
So you could
And that went on for about weeks until the devs finally got it fixed.
Nitsy, you talked about that at one point, right? What was the system?
It was one of the ones just south of Fed Space, or maybe just in the bottom of Fed Space.
Glitch planet system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aphroditeals or something like that?
Yeah, you could sit at the planet unshielded, ships sitting right outside the planet, and nobody could hit you.
That was...
And that was a good year and a half ago, at least.
I think it was a Trig.
Yes, Atrig.
Yeah,
yes,
it was,
thank you.
Atrig, yes.
Zevis in Atrig.
I was close. I started with an A.
That's it. You're right.
Yeah, that was a fun exploit.
Remember the y'all remember the the data mining where you could be warping home like mid warp and somebody would go to get on a node that you were on and it would blow up your botany bay when you were like halfway across the galaxy?
Yes. Yes.
I know.
That caused some epic fights.
Oh yes.
We actually still, I don't know if any other server has this, we actually still have some territories where you can't plant on one of the capture nodes.
We've got broken ISO nodes just like that.
Yeah, we have those too.
And then there's some systems where for some reason, and I've asked other people if they see these ships, and they're like, yeah, I see it. You'll have some systems that for like 3 months at a time, there will be this stationary depleted shield, depleted hull transport or something that's just sitting in the middle of the map that just won't disappear.
Yep.
We have some at the edge of the systems. We have some just sitting there on the edge of the system.
They're just watching.
Well, on my account,
ships, I think.
On my account, what happens is because there's a lag time between the server and the client, I'll kill ships, and they won't disappear. And so what happens is I have all these ships floating, and I have to figure out which ones I can actually hit and which ones I can't. which is really annoying. And then
the ones you can retarget after you've already killed it.
Yeah, but you can't you can retarget, but the attack button will be grayed out.
Right.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, it's just so annoying because it's like sometimes I'll have like 4 extra ships floating around. That happens a lot in Augment Space. Augment Space. I have like 25 ships sitting outside the stupid ring. And then Rogue Space, I have. Sometimes I would have 4, and then Borg Space, I'd have like 3 or 4 roaming, where you can target, you can't target, you can click on them, but you can't attack them.
Yeah, a lot of the swarm space, we have that problem. Where I'll go in and I'm trying to destroy something. And it just, you can't. It's not grayed out. But yeah, it's grayed out, sorry. Looking at the system now.
Yeah, it's I can't imagine. So what I want to do with you guys, 25 and 9, is that like I want to get updates on your progress as we go through the merge, and then after the merge, I want to know what are the glitches that you guys will experience, because Scopely. If there's anything Scopely is known for, it's glitches.
That's like I said, the lag's going to be bad. If it's already bad now, with what we have in 25 during like TC battles, that's I
TC battles
already have a headache.
No, back in 2019, and I just posted it in the podcast chat. I created a little meme, took the Scopely logo, and I put a D on the end and changed it from seize the day to seize the cash. Got Scopely. Because that's what you get. You get Scopely around here a lot.
There's no incentive for them to fix it, unfortunately, because people will spend more money on bugs than they will on gameplay.
If you look at the stats online, and somebody showed them to me a couple of years ago, in 2019, Star Trek became their biggest selling, biggest money making game compared to all of their other games. And other games of theirs have been around for like 10, 12 years, and this one's only. It's making more money per month than all their other games almost combined now, because we have whales.
Well, everything's also priced pretty high, and people that are Star Trek fans have, unfortunately, disposable income. So.
And yes, Raceboy, I got booted from the Scopely official server for posting the you just got Scopely meme that I made up. They actually kicked me from the server.
Here, use the one I just posted.
We say you got Scopely a lot.
Yeah, I just posted one that says Scopely seize the player.
Perfect.
Seize the cash, seize the player. It's all the same thing.
One of the biggest things I hate in territory is the constantly being kicked out of the territory view, the system view. Your ship's in there, then it says it's not. So you open it, and it says it's not, and you got to go to a different system to get back, and those are the times when you come back to either a dead ship or something else.
Numerous times, even in the last month, I've had it where the chat glitches, and I have to shut the game down. I'll see PMs in GC and GC and PMs, and then I close it out and everything's back to normal. Or I'll see one of my ships not warping what it actually is warping, and it's just like, you've had 2.5 years to fix these bugs, billions of dollars spent by us, okay, hundreds of millions, and you can't get this thing right.
Well, in all fairness to Digit, which is the company that does the coding, in all fairness to them, they built a fairly simple game, and with the marketing arm that is Scopely, they just keep adding more and more and more content, and the only way to really fix it is to recode the game to actually make it more fluid. And what happens is there's no. I'll make a caveat. There is money in the bank to recode the game and to actually make things better. The problem is, it would probably take a Herculean effort to give everyone their account with the exact same parameters that they currently have. And so there's currently no incentive to do that, because for every one bug that Scopely puts out, in the first, say, 24 hours or 48 hours of a maintenance, they make millions of dollars on it, because people try to overcome the bugs by spending money.
Yep. Well,
So
last year, another Star Trek game, Star Trek Alien Domain, they went through a major rewrite where they switched from Flash to Unity, and the bugs that were happening in Flash were all gone in Unity because they wrote them out, and Unity's a better coding. Maybe if Digit started looking at using the Unity engine, or not the Unity, what's the Microsoft one? Is it Unity?
Yeah, I think that's Unity.
Yeah, if they started using something like that, or even like look at the Star Trek Online engine. That thing is 13 years old now, and there are literally no bugs left in it. That game.
I believe what Scopely's trying to do, and this is speculation, is that they're trying to move towards a console. So, by all metrics, Star Trek Fleet Command has exceeded what you could do on a mobile game, and
yes,
it's going to be going the way of the console, which is the reverse of what EVE Online did. They try to make a condensed version of their PC game on a phone, and it just crashed horribly. But if there's money to be made, for example, if people were to go on a spending ban, like all the servers simultaneously, then it would be incentive for Scopely to fix all the bugs. But it's not going to happen. It's just, nobody's going to do that.
It was tried. I remember there was a group that tried to do that, to have all servers stop spending and all that jazz. It didn't work out, obviously.
I think I think one of our friends was I think Admiral Jansen tried to do that as well.
Yeah, he did. It's not going to happen because Star Trek fans are very interesting creatures. They're like collectors. They always want the new stuff. They're like, ooh, an update. Oh shit, like new skins and new blue bullets. I need to have those. Let me spend $1 gazillion to get these skins and bullets.
How long do you think Scopely is going to allow compatibility with V-Bucks from Fortnite?
I don't know, man.
Well, all I can say is, at least it is at Bethesda.
That, and at least it's not EA Games. 2013. That was a shit show of a game. If anybody remembers that.
Which game?
Which one?
2013.
No.
You 5-hour wait times to get onto a server. Launch day.
I don't think I ever tried that game.
No, I stick if I'm doing any other games, it's usually on my my Switch, or I'm playing Halo, Skyrim, Fallout, or what's
fellow Skyrim fan.
The best game ever made is Satisfactory. Just saying.
I get the feeling.
Fallout 76 was a bomb. That pissed me off.
Yeah, the thing is, what they missed with Fallout 76, side note, and then we'll get back to STFC, but the point they missed with Fallout 76 is that most people are into you can get lost in the storyline solo and you don't have to worry about other people messing with you. When they heard we wanted online play, we didn't mean that we wanted online play only and it was like that. We wanted other people to be able to like jump into our game and be able to help us out on missions and stuff like that. So they didn't even just miss the mark, they missed the whole target and the backstop.
Yeah, not being shanked while you're, building your camp and shit.
That's something I would like to have seen Digit implement at the beginning, where when you got to 15, you could have chosen to stay purely PvE or go PvP. If you went PvP, you couldn't go back to PvE.
And do they have like PvE and PvP areas, or is it just all PvP?
In Fallout 76, it's open map, all PvP. Like, you could be doing a mission and somebody can just come stab you in the head or shoot your head off.
Yeah, there's a lot of trollery. So like I know a lot of people that were just getting started and they said it was pissing them off because a lot of people were just coming over and just messing with them that had clearly been playing the game longer and they're just trying to get their bearings. And so a lot of people just ended up rage quitting the game. So it's like at this point, unless you got in on it pretty early on, you're kind of screwed.
So it's a bit like GTA Online, where if you're online, somebody can just come kill you for the fun of it.
Yeah, that's what it seems. I've never played it, so I can't speak from experience. But just watching the gameplay and just knowing, that's just something that I'm not interested in that. And like I said, there's no way to really protect yourself. It's not like here where it's just like, yeah, I mean, I may have to worry about somebody hitting my warship, but it's not that big of a deal. It's like they can kill you and take all your stuff.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's no protection. It's kind of like Eve, where they can come and take, the majority of what you get blown up. So it's like...
Yeah, but at least in Eve, they have different areas and stuff. Like, your higher level players typically aren't going to be where you're starting the game, right?
Well, they have security systems. So like there's some systems where you absolutely can't attack anyone. And then there's some systems where you can attack people, but then the bots, the kind of the police or whatever of that system will come after you. And then you have some where it's just like the fucking Wild West.
Which I think is a nice balanced way to do it.
Yeah, and then the more you go into the riskier areas, the better the rewards and the better the stuff are, right? So it's kind of balanced in that way.
Right.
I think I just mastered Pong.
Pong?
What? Interesting.
Get it, Tech! You get that.
So check it out. I just learned like 3 weeks ago how to actually play Minesweeper.
Really?
Yeah. I just used to click shit.
Do you want me to teach you how to play Mahjong?
No, I don't.
All right, so hold on, guys. Going back to Star Trek Fleet Command, I just want to point out this dumbass Armada events. There's a level 25 uncommon Armada, and there are in our alliance in Dark. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people queued up for a level 25 uncommon Armada.
Ridiculous.
I hate Armada events.
How do you
I actually give them props. I do like the star feature for Armadas now. For several reasons.
In Charlie 1 that I'm part of, you have it have to call in, and the first 3, 4, 5 people who call in are the ones that are in. So, for example, I can host a 5 Armada. So the first 4 people, they get started, and everybody piss off.
See, I think the best way to handle that is whoever starts the Armada is in control. They can do whatever they want, and nobody can bitch. They're the one that put up, they're the one that paid the price to start it. It's their Armada. If they want to start all the powerful people, then so be it. If they want to start all the little people and risk losing, so be it.
I think for the most part, when I do mine, I run pretty much bring what you got. And every now and then, like if I know somebody needs a little spot or whatever, like I'll starve maybe one person. And if I know we're going to have like Chemo showing up with his ridiculous planet-destroying Newton, then obviously I know that we can afford to, star a couple smaller people. But like some people, we had somebody show up in a Saladin a couple months ago that was like 900K, and I was like, yeah, can I get a star? And I was like, no, not at all.
So You're saying my 1.3 million Saladin would not be liked by you?
Your 1.3 million Saladin couldn't make it to this space where I run the Armadas.
That's true. I'm struggling to get to deep space, so stupid game. And whatever happened to Swap Shop that they were going to have at level 50? Didn't that get replaced with the away team building?
I think so, yeah.
Scopely would never have made money on the marketplace building.
Yeah, no, they'll never do it.
Which is dumb.
Yep.
Well, it sucks for us, good for Scope. So,
Are you talking about trade amongst players, or are you talking about like just cash in stuff for other stuff?
Yeah.
No, it was supposed to be trade amongst players.
I'm talking about both.
If you could, if I like, for example, I got my jellyfish like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, whatever it was, and then about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I got an epic pull for a full jellyfish. It would have been really nice to be able to be like, here, bro, have this jellyfish that I clearly am not going to really be able to use, and just give it to somebody who's maybe been grinding and is more free to play, and just give them a whole ass jellyfish. But yeah, they wouldn't make their $800 or however much people spend on jellies.
It's actually funny you said that, because when I mentioned I still don't have an enterprise strat, he's like, I'll give you mine.
Well, and
wish-
that's one of the things I don't understand, because this isn't my first, online game or whatever. Most online games do have a trading center for players. They don't even necessarily have to make it ship parts or whatever. So this was kind of new to me that you couldn't trade with your alliance mates. There was no option for that. So that was kind of odd for me.
I've been playing Star Trek Online since 2013. That exchange system, holy crap, it's amazing. You can sell 90% of what you get. You can buy 90% of what you need for energy credits. For the most part, energy credits are free. They have Zen, and I bought the lifetime membership back when it was on sale. I get 500 Zen, which is a premium currency, every month. But you can buy just about anything you need with just the energy credit, or with the low buy credit, or with the gold press platinum. And they have too many currencies in that game. But the robustness of their exchange on Star Trek Online is it's amazing. And it's gone through a few updates and changes and modifications, but it's still, and I've played a dozen different games, and every time I think of a good quality exchange system, it's Star Trek Online. I don't know if anybody else here plays STO, but you know what I'm talking about if you do.
If they would have it, if they had it if I was able to play it on Mac, then I would absolutely do it. But I don't run PCs anymore.
I think they do have.
All right, guys. I think we've kind of ran our time here. I do want you guys back when the events start, because I want to pick your brains on how the events work and what you guys are doing, and hopefully. You'll keep the name Soul, or at least petition Scopely to once the whole thing is freaking done with.
I can
short for Constitution.
Sucks.
Because Connie sounds like someone who wants to speak to the fucking man.
Well, with the name, I would name change.
Will it make?
All right, guys. I want to thank everybody who was here. Santa, Nitsy. I can't remember who else was here.
Ripper, Stratalorian.
There you go, Stratalorian. Thank you. Infinite Key, always a pleasure having you on chat. So tune in next week. Do like, subscribe, comments. It'll help all the algorithms. This has been Trek Talk with Tech and Kirk. I'm Techman16.
I'm Kirky.
And I'm Strange Handy.
And we'll see you guys next time. And I think the after show now works, so you guys can hop in the after show.
Cool.
Thank you guys for having us. It was fun.